When I started coaching, I thought I had to charge $50 an hour to get a client. Lower prices, less risk for them, more buyers. Logical, right? It was the single biggest mistake I made, and it almost killed my business before I even got started. The truth is actually completely backwards from what most coaches think. When I flipped it, I made $200,000 that same year. I spent the first few months of my coaching business doing everything logically, and logic almost destroyed it. It wasn't my offer, it wasn't my work ethic, it wasn't even my niche. It was one assumption I never questioned. It's probably the same assumption sitting in the back of your mind right now. And if you don't catch it, it'll quietly cap your income no matter how good you are or how hard you work. Here is the assumption every new coach makes, and it's so reasonable that no one even questions it. Charge less, remove the price barrier, get more clients, grow from there. I believed that completely, so I charged $50 an hour, thinking it was smart because I was building up my reputation, getting testimonials, and earning my way up. But here's the part logic completely ignores. Price is not just a number. Price is your first impression. When you charge a low amount, you are signaling, even if you don't mean to, that your time, your expertise, your results are only worth that small amount. And the market will 100% believe you. You will attract people who are price shopping, people who are testing the waters, people who are not yet committed to do the hard work it takes to actually get results. I know this because I was coaching those people and it was exhausting. Be honest, there's a number in your head right now that feels safe to charge. A number people will actually say yes to. Drop that in the comments because I want to show you what that number is actually costing you. When I finally looked at the math, I almost couldn't believe how badly I had been thinking about this. So let me show you two paths to make $100,000 a year as a coach. And I really want you to sit with these numbers. Path one, $50 per hour. To hit $100,000, you need 2,000 billable hours. That is 40 hours a week for 50 weeks straight. You don't miss a day, no vacations, no slow months, no life outside of coaching calls. And that's not even including time spent marketing to obtain those clients. That's not really a business that builds freedom. That's just you as an employee without the benefits. Path two, you charge $10,000 per client. To hit $100,000, you only need 10 clients to say yes to you. 10 people, 10 conversations that go well. That's it. That is the entire business model. Same income, completely different life. And here's what makes this even more interesting. Those $10,000 clients are not 10 times harder to find and not 10 times harder to sell. In many ways, it's actually easier, and I'll talk about that in just a second. I want you to do the math with your own current price right now. How many clients does it take to reach 100K? What does that actually look like on a weekly workload? And I want you to sit with that number for a second. Because the math is one thing, but what really changed my mind was understanding who actually shows up when you charge premium prices and who disappears. Everyone assumes that selling something more expensive is harder, that you need to be a better salesperson, you need to have big following, you need to be established. This is not what I experienced at all. This all comes down to one thing. Cheap buyers and premium buyers make decisions completely differently. A cheap buyer gets a dopamine hit from the deal itself. The discount is the reward. Solving the problem then becomes secondary. Premium buyers are different. They don't shop for a bargain. They have a real problem that has already been costing them enough, and they're seriously willing to invest in order to fix it. The pain level is different. Have you ever noticed when you compliment people on their clothes, some people are like, "Thanks, I got it on sale." And others are like, "Thanks, it's Louis V. It cost me a lot of money." They brag about different things. Some people buy for the discount, some people buy for the best. It's always a better business if you can deliver something great for your clients and charge whatever you want versus charging very little and the amount of work that you're doing feels like you're doing it for nothing. And then you end up resenting your client. Look, selling them is truly only half the equation because the real magic happens after the high ticket clients buy. And this part completely changed the way that I think about coaching. Here's something nobody even talks about, but cheap clients forget they even bought the product. I am not exaggerating either. When your price is a sliver of someone's income, it's easier for them to ignore the money that they spent than overhauling all of their bad habits to focus on doing things that they've already been avoiding. There's no psychological pressure to show up, no urgency to do the work, no real consequence if nothing happens. It's just like that free language app that you downloaded on your phone and never opened. It's with good intention, but there's just no follow through. It's just normal human behavior, even for me. I've bought so many courses for $1,000, never never even created a login, not because I didn't want to learn. It was just something that was hard outside of my comfort zone. It was just easier to fall back into bad habits and take the financial hit, knowing that I'm gonna make that money back on the next paycheck than changing my ways. The first time I hired a coach that was 10 times the amount, I couldn't even sleep. I watched each video at least 3 times, and I did everything he told me to do, even if it sounded terrible. It taught me the same thing as every other course that I bought, but it had my attention. I did all the things that I had been avoiding, and as a side effect, I ended up quitting my job and went all in and built a 7-figure business. Think about the last time you bought cheap shoes versus expensive shoes. Did you treat them differently? Would you ever wear $500 dress shoes and romp around in the mud? No. Would you ever polish $15 Crocs? No. We value things when we pay more. Your clients are the same way. Here's the part that might be the most surprising of everything I've shared today, because when all of this clicked, I had 3,000 followers on Instagram. Not 300,000, 3,000. And I still made 200K that year. Here's why it's possible. The biggest lie in the online coaching world is that you need a big following in order to make big income. That belief kept thousands of coaches broke and sat around and waited for permission to charge what they're actually worth. Go back to the math for a second. $10,000 clients, you need 10 of them in order to hit 100,000. To hit 200,000, you only need 20 clients. That's less than 2 clients a month. You do not need to go viral in order to get 2 serious people with a serious problem to seriously want to fix it. Ask yourself this question. Is it easier to go viral, or is it easier to prove to 2 people that you can actually help them? I was selling coaching to music producers. Musicians are notorious for being broke, starving artists, but the math still just made it work. I wasn't trying to reach everyone. I was just trying to reach a few people who are stuck and want to get out. And honestly, I had a simple system to do it. I just made content, whether it was ads or organic, took them to a video that explained exactly how I would help them, and got them on a phone call to close the deal. That's the entire business. This is why if you're starting out, you should charge more, because you can't afford to charge less. You don't have enough hours, you'll burn out, you won't get enough clients. Instead, you can focus all your energy on just a couple of people. Get them life-changing results, and they'll be happy, they'll give you a testimonial, and that's how your business expands faster with proof. If you don't have a massive audience right now, the best move is to make each one of them more valuable by charging more and giving them more. You are ready now. The only thing standing between you and a 6-figure coaching business is the assumption that it would work. And I started with the wrong assumptions, thinking cheap prices gets more clients means more money. It was all logical, but completely backwards. But of course, the question is, how do you get these high-ticket clients? If you want to learn how to turn strangers into high-paying clients, even within 24 hours of them finding out you exist, watch this video right here. But definitely hit subscribe first, then watch it.